Welcome to your math flip video lesson today. I know you took a hard test, or not hard, but a very long test in my room today. I'm hoping you did super well on it. So tonight's homework is going to be easy, but you still have to think about it. To do tonight's homework, you need your guided notes, you need the worksheet that goes with your guided notes, and you need a pencil or a flare marker or pen, preferably a pencil or a flare marker. If you look, we're learning about multiplication basics today, and you've got 4 categories. You've got ways to write multiplication or basics, you've got arrays, you've got repeated addition, and you've got application. And we're just going to do these one at a time. So start right now with your column that says multiplication basics. If you look, there are 6 different ways. There's probably more, but there's 6 that I want you to know, different ways to write a multiplication problem. You need to fill these in as we go. You can do 4 times 3 equals 12. You can do 4, and that little dot represents a multiplication sign. 3 equals 12, means the same thing, 4 times 3. You can put parentheses around one of your factors, all right? So this still means 4 times 3 equals 12. And you saw this a lot with the distributive property when we had a sum in here. Now, if you're looking at algebraic expressions, you can do that with multiplication as well. I just picked k and m as my variables, and I put k times m. Another way that you can write k times m, that's shorthand, that's much shorter, is km. This means k times m. And last but not least, sometimes they like to put a numerical number along with an algebraic expression or a variable, 4x. 4x, like if this were a 3, does not mean 43. It means 4 times 3, or 12. You should have all 6 of those written down. Your next section says multiplication words. And you've got 4 times 3 equals 12. You could throw a little equal sign in there since I forgot to do that. By 4, you would write the word factor. By 3, you would write the word factor. And by 12, you would write the word product. In multiplication, a factor times a factor equals a product. Those are all vocabulary words you need to be very familiar with. Then, if you look at where it says word problems, it gives you all the different key words that you would see in a word problem that would maybe hint to you that that problem would be best solved by multiplying. Multiplying and adding can have the same key words, so don't be fooled. Okay. We're done with the basics. Let's look at arrays, please. All right, if you look, array is a group of objects separated in rows and columns. You have been doing this since 2nd grade. I know this because my child did it in 2nd grade. So if you look at the array 5 times 3, it simply means 5 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 5. If you look this way, I have 3 groups of 5. There's 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, so 3 groups of 5. If you look this way, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 3. They both equal 15. Right now, you need to show me an array that is 4 groups of 6. You can pause this tape if you need to while you're doing that. All right, we are already on repeated addition. I told you this was going to go super quick. I'm only 3 minutes into this lesson. It's going to be a short one. If you look at the repeated addition, we're looking at 3 times 4. There are 2 different ways to write 3 times 4 as repeated addition because this means 3 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 3. So I can do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, which equals 12. Or I can do 4 plus 4 plus 4, which also equals 12. Now show me 6 times 5 is 2 different repeated addition problems, please. Oh, pause while you do it. All right, we are all the way down to the in-out chart. The rule is simply times 3. Sometimes the rule is a lot harder, so if you look, 0 times 3 is 0. We know that because of the 0 property. 1 times 3 is 3. We know that because of the multiplicative identity property. And then you just kind of do the multiples out. 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12, 5 times 3 is 15, 6 times 3 is 18, 7 times 3 is 21, 8 times 3 is 24, 9 times 3 is 27. We don't have 10 on here, but 10 times 3 is 30. Easy. Let's go to the application. And by application, we're just going to look at perimeter and area today. Now with perimeter, if you look at your notes, it says you add all the sides. That's just a reminder from last year. And for area, you multiply the lengths times the width. All right, so what's going to happen in your homework or on the worksheet that you're about to do is I'm going to give you the dimensions. You're going to draw the rectangle, you're going to show me the congruent sides, and then you're going to figure out the perimeter and the area. I've done one example for you, so look at number 1 in your notes. It says the length equals 8 and the width equals 3 centimeters. So the first thing I did was I drew a rectangle, and I showed that this side was congruent to this side because that's one of the rules of rectangles. Then I showed that this side was congruent to that side with my hash marks. Now all these angles are 90 degrees, but since I'm not working with the angles right now, I did not label them. But I do know that. Then I know that this side is 8 centimeters, which means this is also 8 centimeters, and this is 3 centimeters, which means this is also 3 centimeters. So to find the perimeter, I can take 8 plus 8 plus 3 plus 3, and I get 22 centimeters. Now these are linear measurements because I'm measuring a line around a place, so that's why it's just centimeters. Now, to find the area, I multiply the length times the width. So I take the length, which is 8, and I take the width, which is 3, and my area equals 8 times 3. Now that's going to talk about all this area inside, and so in this case I need to make sure that you know it is centimeters squared. So 8 times 3 is 24 centimeters squared. You need to work the next problem 3 where the length is 4 centimeters and the width is 12. Draw them out first and then see what you get. Okay? Now, if you look at what you got for your perimeter, you should have had 12 plus 12, which is 24, plus 4 plus 4, which is 8, and 24 and 8 is 32. So for your perimeter, you should have had 32 centimeters, and for your area, you should have had 12 times 4, which is 48. And it should have been 48 centimeters. I will be checking your notes to make sure that you drew your rectangle and showed the congruent sides. If you have all these notes and you understand them, it's time to start your homework. If you don't understand something, try calling your study buddy and see if they can help you. I will see you in class tomorrow.